So the other thing I'll encourage you to do is if you can't make a class, if you can watch, if you can do the virtual one at your own convenience, then just let me know you've done it and then I'll check you off for those days. Okay. So little food for thought. So the other thing I'll encourage you to do is if you can't make a class, if you can watch, if you can do the virtual one at your own convenience, then just let me know you've done it and then I'll check you off for those days.
I'm not repeating myself.
So little food for thought.
It's repeating me.
So the other thing I'll encourage you to do is if you can't make a class.
All right, there. I shut myself up on the other one. Good morning, everybody. Jackie Green from the Chatham County Council on Aging. I just do that for people who might find it online. Just remember, only do what you're able to do. Don't push yourself. Remember, so this is the arthritis class, and we'll just quickly go over the guidelines for the arthritis class just to make sure that everybody knows in terms of how to exercise safely, because it's so important. I've personally, I have taken, and when I was younger, I would do, okay, I'm going to get in shape, and I'd start doing something and I'd do too much. And then I'd hurt myself, strained something, pulled something, whatever. So I've learned to go slow and steady. Okay. And it's important that if you feel pain, pain is a warning system in our body. So if pain suddenly gets worse during exercise, stop. How do you recognize an inflamed joint?
Heat, redness.
It could be heat, swellness. What was that, Rosemary? Swelling. It can be red. Okay, and hot. Yeah. So those are the symptoms that tell us that we've made something angry at us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do that with people too. They get hot and red in the face, right? And remember, move just until you feel a gentle stretch and not past the point where you feel more pain than normal. Remember the 2-hour pain rule. That's probably one of the most important things you can remember. And remember, there's a difference between joint pain and muscle pain, right? So when you get done exercising, we want to feel some muscle soreness, because that tells us that we're actually working the muscle and we're making it repair itself, which is making us stronger. However, we don't want to have more joint pain than normal more than 2 hours later. If so, what are the things that we may have done wrong if we have joint pain more than 2 hours later?
Too much exercise.
Too much exercise. What was that, Ann? We've done too much. And that too much could be defined as, if it's a shoulder, it could be we brought it up here and it didn't want to be up here and we had too much of a range of motion, right? It could be we're using weights and we use too much weights. It could be we were good for the first 15 and when we went to 25 thinking more is better, then we caused a problem, okay? So you got to think about what works for you and what doesn't. What are some of the symptoms that you may be overexerting yourself and you're causing yourself to get into a danger zone? Breathing. You could get short of breath.
Lightheaded.
You could feel nauseous all of a sudden. Lightheaded, right? Lightheaded means you're losing the blood flow to your brain to some extent. Dizziness, chest pain, sharp or excessive pain, shortness of breath. If any of those things happen, stop and let me know, okay? Just so everybody knows, I do carry a rescue mask with me so I can do CPR. It's one of those things that I just feel passionate about. I keep one on my keys all the time. I have a hard one in my exercise bag. You want to begin slowly and move gently without jerking, especially when you're warming up, okay? It's important to try to reach a full range of motion versus moving fast. So it's better for me to go slow and get all the way up, right? Than it is for me to kind of go, whoo, I'm going to go up and hurt myself, right? So we don't want to do that. Don't feel pressured to keep up with everybody else. Everybody has their own life journey. You got where you are. You're just going to do what you can. We're going to celebrate our successes, right? Keep breathing regularly. One of the best way to do that is to count with us as we're doing it, so you know you're breathing regularly. We're not supposed to assist other class members. We don't substitute exercises, but I may show you how you can adjust it so that it's more comfortable for you. And you should always check with a doctor before you do start your exercise program. So what we're gonna do to start with is we're gonna just kind of move around and try to get everything moving. You can do this either sitting or you can get up and walk around, okay? I prefer for everybody to do this part walking, getting up and walking around. And as you're walking, focus on your posture and really doing a foot strike, meaning you're gonna hit your heel first and roll to your toes. And try to walk with as natural as a gait as you can and just kind of walk around, okay? I realize that my computer's not plugged in. It's working, but it's not plugged in. I don't want it to go dead. About those people that aren't live. No, just kidding. Inside joke for those that were here before the thing was recorded. Okay, so we're gonna walk tall and proud, keep our shoulders down and back. Chin is up nice and high. Okay, you're striking your heel, you're rolling to your toes. Okay, use an assisted device if you need it, like a cane or whatever. You just want to always be safe. This is a great class to do while you're seated, but why is it important to get up and walk around sometimes? How does that?
Get the circulation going.
It keeps the ability to do it, right? If you don't do it, you won't be able to do it. Keeps the circulation going. The other part is this is giving you some weight-bearing exercise, which helps keep your bones strong. Okay, that's important. Okay. And as we start moving like this, what we're doing is we're starting to get the fluids running in our joints. So let's take, and you can go back and have a seat if you want, and we're going to start moving the rest of our joints. Okay. Or you can keep marching if you want. You can keep standing or you can sit. Based on the class participants today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do most of it seated. Okay. But if you're home and you want to do it standing, you go right ahead. And what I'll do is if I see that you're standing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the recommendations for you when I see it. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so that you're not seeing everything else in front of my computer. There we go. So that I can tell you how to adjust things as you're doing it. All right. So we're going to start with a head turn. Okay. So just turn your head and look over your left shoulder. Then look straight ahead and over your right shoulder. Now you can march in place if you want as we do this. If you want to have a little bit more exercise, you can march in place. Keep going from left to right. Okay. You're getting the fluid running in those neck joints. All right. Now let's move our legs a little bit more. Now, can you do what we call a heel jack? And you're going to touch your heel out in front and then bend your leg. Then alternate feet. Heel and put your foot flat. Heel, flat, heel, flat. Do a few of those. Now, can you add an arm swing? So swing like you're walking. Okay. I was going to do alternate arm and leg, but they didn't do that. So we're doing same arm and same leg. All right. All right. Now, can you march and crisscross your arms in front? I guess we can just do a march and crisscross our arms. We're doing scissors. Okay. We're getting the fluid flowing in our shoulders. All right. Now let's do some shoulder shrugs. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears and down. Woo. I feel that, and down. Now, as you bring them down, can you bring them down and back so that your ears stay over your shoulders? Keep your chin back, okay? You want your shoulders down and back so you're opening your chest so your shoulders aren't doing this, right? You want them down and back, so shrug them and drop them down and back. Shrug them and drop them down and back, okay? And Man, my eyes, I'm not seeing this very well. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna do a forward arm reach and to do it with your breath. So we'll inhale and bring it down and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now remember, don't go up farther than you should. You know your shoulders. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. All right. So now we're going to do 4 of each of these exercises. So again, we're going to go back to our head turns. Okay, so now we're doing our range of motion. So with the range of motion and strengthening, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a bigger range of motion with each time we go. Okay, so start out small and then go a little bit bigger, a little bigger. So look over the left shoulder, over the right shoulder, and center. And what we're going to do is when we bring it over, we're going to hold it for a count of 3. 2, 2, 3, and center. 2, 2, 3, and center. Back left. 2, 3, 2, 3, and center. 3, 2, 3, and center. Last one. 4, 2, 3, and center. And 4, 2, 3, and center. Now we're going to do the head tilt. So now we're going to bring our left ear to our left shoulder. You're going to keep your chin forward. And what I want you to imagine is that there's an axle that goes right through my chin. And I can't move my chin anywhere because I have an axle there. The only thing I can do is tip it. And I'm tipping on that axle. Very good. Center and tip it the other way. And up. 2, 2, 3, and up. 2, 2, 3. And remember, you're trying to go a little farther and a little farther each time. 3, 2, 3, and up. And 3, 2, 3, and up. One more time. 4, 2, 3, and up. And 4, 2, 3, and up. All right, now we're going to go back and we're going to go back to, we're going to do a shoulder blade pinch. So we're going to go to goalpost. Okay, so I'm looking like a goalpost here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my elbows back and squeeze my shoulder blades together. I'm going to inhale and then I'm going to exhale and then bring my arms together up front. So inhale and exhale. When you're pulling your arms back, you're squeezing those shoulder blades together, strengthening the top of that back. Exhale. Inhale. One more after this one. Exhale. And 4. And together. Very good. All right, so now let's do the elbow bend. Arms to the side, and we're just going to bend our arms up so our palms face our shoulders. Down and up. And we can march in place as we do this. Up. 3 and up. And 4 and up. Now we're going to do shoulder shrugs. We can keep our legs going if you want to. If you've got the endurance, keep them going. Shrug your shoulders up and down. 2 and down. 3 and down. 4 and down. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do our forward arm reach. So this time our arms are going to come up in front and go high and back down. This time pair it with your breath. So you're going to inhale up. We're going to count on the way down. 2. Nice and slow. 3. And down. And last one. 4. And down. Now let's do the same thing, but bring our arms up to the side. How are your shoulders feeling? Roll those shoulders back. Let them relax a little bit. I tend to get a lot of tension in my neck and my shoulders as I do those kind of exercises. So I break them up and I do a little bit of movement in between so that I get those muscles a chance to relax. Okay. So I'm going to go back to a march, and this time I'm going to do my shoulder reach up out to the side. So I'm going to bring my arms up out to the side. I'm going to go up to wherever I'm comfortable and exhale and come on back down. So we're going to count on the way down. So inhale and exhale. We're at 2. And inhale. 3. And inhale. And 4. All right. Next one we're going to do is people. How many people have heard of people that have shoulder rotator problems? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So our shoulder rotators work as they work, help we bring our arms out to the side. They also help you rotate them up this way. So we're going to work on stretching the ones that go to the side right now. So you're going to hold your palms up, elbows are into your sides. And what you're going to do is you're just going to bring your palms out to the side and back in. And we're going to count on the way out. So 2 and in,
3,
3 and in. One more time. 4 and in. Okay. Now, now we're going to do the wrist bend. So you're just going to bend your wrist down and up, down and up. Can you do one and the other? One, just make it more interesting. Okay. All right. And now let's go ahead and do a chair push-up. And I know this can be a challenge, especially if you have sore hands and sore, but what I want you to do, so another option for that is if, trying to think of a better way to do this. So go ahead and put your hands on your chair. And if it hurts your hands or your wrist, don't do it. That's probably the best advice I can give you. So we're going to kind of put our hands on the chair. Okay. And we're going to try to straighten our arms and support our body to some extent with our arms. And you may not be able to support much of your body weight. You're just doing what you can do. Okay. And we're going to count to 3 when we press. Okay. So here we go. You ready? Press. 1, 2, 3, and relax. Go again. Ready? 2, 2, 3,
and relax.
and relax. If it hurts, don't do it. 3, 2, 3,
1, 3.
and relax. Last one, and I'm really just using my arm strength. I'm not using my legs. 4, 2, 3, and relax. Shake out those hands. How many of you does it hurt your hands when you do that?
Little bit.
Little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that I'm not real excited about them putting that in this, but they do. Okay. So now let's open and close our hands. Okay. All right. And do some wrist circles. Go one way and then go the other way. All right. Now go ahead and rest your hands on your legs and then roll your shoulders back. Do backward shoulder circles. All right. Now let's go ahead and do a finger curl. So just take your hands and gently go into a fist and open wide. 2 and open nice and wide. 3 and open, and 4 and open. And let's go back to a march. So sit tall and proud. Now, as you do this, what I want you to do is pay attention to your legs on this. Okay. So when you're sitting, okay, if you're sitting and your feet naturally, look at where your toes are with respect to your knees. Okay. If you put any weight on your knees, when your knees are past the end of your toes, you're doing more damage to your knees. Okay. So you're better off when you're sitting to sit with your heels under your knees than having your legs back farther. Okay. Because then you have less pressure on your knees. Okay. So I want you to think about that when we're doing anything. I want you to think about that when you're driving. Okay. When you're marching, I'm not going to march like this. I'm going to march with my legs out straight so that I'm not putting any extra pressure on my knees. Okay. Because how many of us have knee issues? Almost all of us. Okay. So we have to protect the knees. All right. So we're going to march. So let's have our heels under our knees and let's march. And we'll count. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That gives us 4 on each side. All right. Now we're going to do the cat's claw. So start with your hands straight and you're going to bend every knuckle except the big knuckle. So all the finger joints bend and open and bend. 3 and open and 4 and open. I am amazed when I do these exercises, how much brain power it takes to make certain knuckles move and not other knuckles move.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it'd be really simple, but it's harder than you think it is. Okay. Now we're going to do the knuckle wave. This one I think is one of the hardest ones for people to do, because when you start to bend your fingers, when you start to bend this knuckle here, these knuckles all seem to want to do this. And we don't want them to do that. We want to be in control of them. And we want just this knuckle here to bend, so all the rest of these stay straight. Okay. And it's hard. It's really hard. Okay. So up straight and bend. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Some of them don't want to bend at all, do they? Yeah, I mean, it's funny because from the time I was a kid, I would have knuckles that if I went to scrub or do anything, these knuckles would lock and this knuckle would bend at the end. And I have no idea why they would do that. And they would get stuck and I literally have to knock them to get them unstuck. Really weird how our bodies work sometimes. Okay. All right. So now let's do the gluteal set. This one is one of my favorites because I see everybody get taller as we do this. Think about how many people you've seen that as they get older, their butts disappear, right? There's nothing filling out their pants anymore, right? And the reason that happens is because we lose up to 2 pounds of body mass per decade, and it happens below our tush. It happens from our waist down. So the muscles here all atrophy. Okay, so we're going to work on that. So we're going to sit tall and proud. We're going to have our shoulders over our hips. We're going to have our ears over our shoulders. And yes, we're going to have our knees over our heels. Okay, and we're going to squeeze our cheeks together for all that we're worth. And I don't mean these. Okay? And we're going to hold and we're going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and relax. Oh. Notice we all get about 2 inches taller when we do this, right? Here we go. You ready? Squeeze again. Ready? Squeeze. 2, 2, 3, and relax. And squeeze. 3, 2, 3, and relax. One more. Squeeze. 4, 2, 3, and relax. Now, does anybody's cheeks, are they fatigued? Mine, I can feel them. Okay, so even with all the exercise I do, when I do these and I do these well and I think about squeezing them, I can feel them get fatigued. That's what we want. All right. Another thing I want just a little tip that I learned over the years. When you're driving in your car, okay, I want you to think about sitting tall and proud. The other thing I want you to think about is, where are your knees with respect to each other? Okay. The reason I say that is I'm going to turn a little bit to the side seat. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Most people, when they drive, what foot is on the gas pedal?
Right one.
Your right one. Okay. So everybody straighten out your right foot. Right. Straighten out your right knee like you've got your foot on the gas pedal. Pay attention to where your left knee is. Okay. Is your left knee essentially even front to back with your right?
Yes.
Or is your right knee a lot farther forward and you tend to have your left hip back, your right hip back farther, left hip back farther, so that your left knee is back farther? You want to keep your hips even, which keeps your knees even when you're driving. What that's making you do is it's making you keep your torso nice and strong, and it puts less pressure on your knees. Okay. So you want to think about keeping your knees even, keeping your hips even, and sitting tall and proud. Because the more you can have correct posture, the more your body can do what you want it to do on a regular basis and not get fatigued. Okay. So now as we've got this posture, we're going to do our knee bending and straightening. So we're going to sit tall and proud. I'm out toward the front of my chair a little bit. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my left knee, and then I'm going to kick my left knee out. So I'm going to bend it and then I'm going to straighten it. And this I'm going to do slowly. Okay. Bend and just give that knee a chance to work. 3, and one more. 4. Let that leg rest. Even after that, this thigh is saying enough, enough, enough. I hope I give you hope, because I'll tell you, these are work. Okay. So if you're feeling it, you're not alone. Okay, let's do the other one, tall and proud. Yes, Roger. Are you feeling it when you're just doing this leg or both? Hurts like, okay. Like purgatory. That's okay. I get it. All right. So what I want you to do is notice where you feel the pain. So if you feel the pain, if it is it there? So this is good for everybody to understand. So Roger was saying he was feeling it in this area here when he does the knee bending and straightening. So do you feel that when you're sitting there not doing anything? Both sides nail you. Have you worked with a physical therapist or your doctor about that? And what have they told you? Things you can't address yet. Okay. All right. So again, we're going to go back to if it hurts, don't do it. But what I want you to pay it. So if it hurts, don't do it. Okay. However, one of the things that's always good to do is go back to what we're talking about is our range of motion. So if you're sitting like this and you don't feel it, see if you can't. Now, the other thing I would do is I would recommend can you do a pelvic tilt? Everybody try to do a pelvic tilt. So tuck your tailbone underneath you like you're a bad dog. You got in trouble. Your Great Dane got in trouble. What do? They tuck their tail underneath, right? Does that hurt? Or does that feel stretchy? Can you feel that stretching a little bit? That's always my first step whenever I'm doing anything. When I feel pain in my back is I tuck my tailbone so that I protect this. I can have much stronger muscles here than I can have back here. So I want to tuck it to engage these muscles and protect these. Okay. So then what I would do is once I do that, then I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to try to move this foot out. When does the pain start? When it starts, I'm going to stop right before the pain starts. So you got about this far and you winced. So can you just go an inch far ahead and back? Oh, that's a different one. He said that's his knee that's hurting. So what you need to do is you really need to listen to your body and do what you can do and not do something that's causing you pain. Because what happens when you cause pain? We go back to the symptom cycle. When you cause pain, right, it makes you tense your body. When you tense your body, it causes pain somewhere else. Okay. And we're going to be talking about the symptom cycle in a week or so. Okay. So just do what you can. And when you do one more repetition, if you see that, and you're going to do microscopic moves. You're just going to do little tiny moves. And that's all you're going to start with and see if you can handle those. Okay. So let's do it. Let's do the knee strengthener on the other side, the knee bend and straightener on the other side. So where are we starting? Tall and proud, belly tight, tailbone tucked, right? And then straighten that knee out and bend it. 2, count with me, and bend. 3, is that causing pain? And bend.
4,
4, and bend. What was your pain level on that? 4? Okay. Okay. All right. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do ankle circles. So ideally with the ankle circle, we're going to put our left leg out in front. Ideally, we're going to tighten our belly, tuck our tailbone. That's our starting point. We're going to lift that foot off the ground to do the ankle circles. If that hurts, you're going to leave the heel on the floor and do the ankle circles with your heel on the floor. Okay. So here we go. Lift and 1, 2, 3, 4. Let that foot down. Let it rest a minute. Let's switch to the other foot. So on that one, I went clockwise. So pay attention to which way you're going. Switch the other leg over. Okay. Do the other one. 1, 2, 3. That one I did counterclockwise. So I'm going back to the first one. I'm going to do this one counterclockwise. Ready? 1, 2. Oh, I shortchanged to 3, 4. We're supposed to do 4 of them. Back to the other side. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now you're going to take your toes. If these are my toes, we're going to curl our toes and we're going to lift them, and we can do our hands and our feet at the same time. So we're curling and we're lifting. 2, lift. 3, lift. 4, lift. All right. Let's see. I would like you to stand up, but if you don't want to stand up, that's fine. Okay. So we're going to stand up. We're going to stand behind it. We're going to stand behind our chair. Yeah, let's get a drink. That's a good idea, Ann. Get a drink. So we're going to stand behind our chair. Sorry, I got a band here I got to get rid of. We're not going to use that. Woo! Fly and be free. All right, so stand behind your chair. Okay. And we're just going to take and we're going to bend at the waist. Okay. And we're just going to bend just a little bit, drop our shoulder. So you're curling your waist to the side if you can. And then go to the other side. 1, 2. Try to keep your hips staying exactly the same place, and you're just bending the top of your body from your waist up. 3, 3, 4, and 4. And again, if you feel that here when you're doing it, you have to do a pelvic tilt. That's what's going to protect that back. And if the pelvic tilt doesn't help and you still feel pain, you don't do it. Okay. All right. So now we're going to take and we're standing behind our chair. We're going to stand tall and proud. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to keep this hip from going out, right? So we're going to try to keep it completely straight, and we're going to lift this leg to the side just a little bit. And I want you to pay attention to what's happening with your feet. Look at your feet, and you want your feet parallel with each other. Okay. Your toes and your heels are separated about the same amount of distance. Okay. Now, when we do a side leg lift, what we're trying to do is we spend time getting these stronger. We want to get these on the side stronger. And the only way you can do that is if you keep your feet parallel, even when you lift them. So I'm going to lift my left leg. And as I do that, I'm going to keep my toes and my heels the same distance apart, which means I'm not letting my toe turn out when I lift it. Oh, let me see. Hold on. You can't see my feet. Trying to make sure these people can see it and you guys can see it. Okay. Ideally, you don't want your body. So really, you're really trying to get just this muscle to engage. So what Roger was asking me, is it okay if he leans to the right to lift his left leg? Okay. So he says, is it okay to do this? And that's really what you're trying to do, is you're trying to keep your whole body straight and just lift it, even if it's just lifting it, even if it's just moving the foot away from the other one just a little bit and lifting it off the ground. Keep those feet parallel. Okay. So it can be just a little tiny lift. It doesn't have to be a lot. It's more important that you're keeping your feet parallel than to make sure that you're not turning your foot out. Okay. Does that make sense? So just do what we can. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. A good way to think about this is use your brain on this. And I don't mean that as a slam, but use your brain in the process, and imagine that you have a piece of rope attached to that outside ankle bone. Okay. It's attached to the outside ankle bone, and somebody is over there and they're pulling it. Okay. And they're pulling it, and you're leading with that outside ankle bone. Because if you lead with that outside ankle bone, it's going to make it so your toe doesn't turn out. Okay. Does that help? So let's do this side. You ready? So we're going to out and in. 2, 3, one more, 4. And these are hard, especially if you're trying to do them with good form, right? I mean, you could sit there and you could turn your foot out and go 1, 2, but you're not going to get out of it what we're trying to get you to get out of it. And we really want to strengthen these muscles, and these muscles, and also these on the inside. And the only way you can do that is to be really specific about how you're moving. All right. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to do a calf stretch. So as you stand behind your chair, okay, and we're going to take our right foot back about 18 inches, and you're going to take that back heel and you're going to push that back heel to the floor. And what you want to do, and make sure that that back heel is straight, okay? And again, as I'm doing this, I don't want my toe to be pointing out. I want my toe pointing straight ahead and my heel pointing straight back, okay? So I'm going to be about 18 inches apart, and I'm going to push that back heel down, and I want to feel that stretch in the back calf. If you don't feel it, you may need to open your legs a little wider, put a little bit more distance between them, and push that knee down or that heel down. And when you do, you should feel a stretch in that calf. And let's hold it and let's count to 20, okay? Count with me. 1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4, 5, 6,
6,
7,
7,
8,
8,
9,
9,
10,
10,
11,
11,
12,
12,
13,
13,
14,
14,
15, 16,
16,
17, 18,
18,
19,
19,
20. And
20.
bring that back foot forward and switch and bring the other foot back. Again, make sure that back heel is pointing straight back. The back toe is pointing straight forward, okay? Press that back heel down, feel that stretch in that back calf, and we're gonna count to 20 again, okay? 1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
4,
5, 6,
6,
7,
7,
8,
8,
9,
9,
10,
10,
11,
11,
12,
12,
13,
13,
14,
14,
15, 16,
16,
17,
17,
18,
18,
19,
19,
20, and bring that foot forward, okay? That's a really good exercise to do on a regular basis. All right. So, how you feeling? Can you
With
tell
my
you've been
hands.
working? What was that?
With my hands.
You're feeling, she said she's feeling with her hands. That was Mary Lou, yes. Rosemary wanted to know if that was you, Mary Lou. I said yes.
Yes, Rosemary.
Yes. Sounds like what my husband would say too. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work a little bit on balance. Okay.
Okay.
Yeehaw, right? All right. Balance is something we all want to make sure that we improve, right? How many here are afraid of falling? Right? Okay. Okay. Well, and that's why one of the things that's important to do is to learn how to fall. I hate to put it that way, but it's good to learn how to fall, and it's good to learn how to get back up. But we're going to work today on, we're going to work on balance, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to take, and the first one we work on is single leg heel raise. So what we want to do is you're going to have both feet flat on the floor, both feet parallel, both feet are underneath your hips. So your feet are hip width apart and they're parallel. And what you want to do is just take one heel, take and see if you can raise one heel off the ground so you're on one set of toes and the other full foot, okay? And see if you can, if you hold onto the chair, or see if you can let go of the chair. Okay, see if that's something you can do without any problem, okay? And then switch the other side of the chair, we'll do the other side. Same thing. And if this isn't hard, you can go to where your balance challenge is and you can do your balance challenge, okay? Go to the other side and you're gonna do the same thing, lift one heel off the floor. So you're on the one set of toes. Okay. And what do you use when you're balancing? What's helping you balance? What are some of the things that your body's using?
My knees.
Your knees. Roger says he picks a focal point to look at. Yep. So your eyes are a big piece of that. Okay. That's why it's important when you're walking. When you're walking, the last thing you want to be doing is looking down and seeing what's in front of your feet. Okay. You want to be looking probably 20 to 30 feet down in front of you. And then if you need to, as you're coming to a curb, you look down and you make sure you step over it. But you want to make sure that you're looking that way, because if you're looking down, where are you going to go?
Down.
Down. Okay. You're looking down, that's where you're going, and that's not where you want to be. Okay. And it's hard to look down and have good posture, right? When you're looking down, where's your ears? They certainly aren't over your shoulders, right? So think about that. All right. So now let's do some endurance. So we're gonna do a song of how many of you remember our brain dance?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna use that today. And so for those that don't know, that you can do this seated if you want. If you've had enough and you want to sit, you have a seat. We don't want to push too hard, too fast. All right. But if you want to do it standing, you can. I will do it today seated, but you can do it standing. All right. And remember with this, with the balance, with the brain dance, what we do, let me see if I can get this to play now. It's not listening to me. Story of my life. Let's see, I'm listening, whatever. This song is Happy Together. Happy. I don't sing well. I didn't enter the senior games for singing. Trust me.
Imagine me and you, I do.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do everything we do with the left, we do with the right. We're gonna do four of each, okay? And we start with heel toe with the left and toe with the right. So we're just gonna go heel and back. 2,
and you say you belong to me, and ease my
4,
mind.
then we're gonna
Imagine
switch
how
the other
the
leg.
world could
Heel,
be so
toe,
very fine,
heel,
so happy
toe,
together.
3, 4. We're gonna do toe together.
I
Toe
can't see
together.
me
4,
loving
3,
nobody but you
4, other
for all my
toe together.
life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be
4,
blue for all my
left.
life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had
3,
to be.
go
The
faster
only
if you
one
want.
for me is you,
4,
and you for me, so happy together.
2.
I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my
4. Now we're gonna go
life.
we're gonna punch out
When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my
4 from the
life.
other arm.
Me and
1,
you and
2,
me, no matter how they toss the dice,
4, they're gonna
it
play
had
out
to
to the
be.
left again.
The only one for me is you,
2,
and you for me,
3,
so happy
punch out right
together.
before. 2, 3, 4. Then we do our can cross, which is full and cross. 4, 2, 3, 4. Then we're gonna go over our head with the over. That's too high. Just
And
use
you
your hand.
and
3.
me,
Do what
no
feels
matter
good.
how they
4.
toss the dice, it
Okay,
had
we're
to
gonna go
be.
back in this time.
The only one for
Go a little
me is
faster.
you,
Go to the beat.
and you for
Okay, so
me,
here we go.
so
So
happy
let's march.
together.
Straighten
so
the head now. We're
happy
gonna look left and center,
together.
or left, center, left.
I can't see
Center, you
me
can march if you
loving
want.
nobody but you
Four,
for
right,
all my
center.
life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all
Four.
my
We're gonna look down and center for four.
Me
Down,
and you,
center,
and you and me.
down,
No matter
center,
how they toss the
three,
dice, it had to be.
four, up
The
and
only
center,
one for
four.
me is
One,
you, and you for me.
two,
So happy together.
four. Head tilt for four. Left. One, two, three, four. Right and center. One, two, three, and four. All right. Very good, everybody.
You and me.
Very
No
good.
matter how they toss the dice, it had to be.
So,
The
go ahead and get a drink. And guess what we get to do now? We get to do a quick, we're gonna go do a little bit more for a cool down. Some of the same things we did to start with. And then we will do relaxation. All right. So let me put in the other CD. Do I have it over here? Right there. What time is it? It is about 10 of. Yeah, we're gonna do just a few minutes of cool down, and then we'll do our relaxation and we'll be done. Okay, so okay. All right, so we're just gonna march a little bit. So just march in place, march slowly.
only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together.
We're gonna do without music. I don't know what my computer is doing. It's playing what's on it instead of what I'm putting in the CD player, and I have no idea why. So just march a little bit. All right, let's do a heel jack, which is just heel and toe with one foot. With the other foot, just do what you can. Don't push too much. All right, we'll do heel toe lift. Lift your heels, lift your toes. Heels and toes. You can move your arms just a little bit. Okay. Now let's march with scissors, just gently, slowly. We're just moving just a little bit. Okay. Let's do our shoulder shrug. Lift them to your ears and down and up and down. And then we're going to do the forward arm reach. Bring your arms up with a nice big deep breath in and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. And let's sit back and relax. Here we go. So deep, we're going to do deep breathing today. So you just sit where you are. You want your head up. Just go ahead and let your hands hang relaxed at your sides or resting on your lap. Now go ahead and place your hands on your abdomen just below your belly button. That's okay. Just watch the cord. Okay. And as you breathe, see if you can feel your hands expand out as your belly. If you can go back that way, I just don't want you to trip on the cord. Okay. Okay, breathe in, and as you exhale, then feel your abdomen retract back in. And just keep working on that breathing and breathing in and feeling your abdomen expand. And exhaling and feeling the abdomen retract. It's what you call belly breathing. And it's a great way to help your relaxation. Now inhale deeply and slowly through your nose, expanding your chest and your abdomen as much as possible. Exhale through your pursed lips, and let's make a shh sound. So inhale and then exhale. Shh. Keep breathing like that. Shh. Shh. Now, as you get that, what you can do, you can take and you can do that same breathing deeply in your belly, and you can bring your arms to goalpost, and you can inhale and bring your arms back, and then exhale as you bring your arms forward. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Go back to having your arms rest on your legs and keep breathing. Feel your whole body relaxing. And remember that you can do this on your own. Just remember to do it and allow your body to relax. Let's go ahead, and if you've got your eyes closed, go ahead and open your eyes. Let's take a nice big deep breath in and bring your arms up overhead. Exhale as we bring our arms all the way down. Inhale, bring your arms up and around. Give yourself a hug. Remind yourself that you're safe and you're healthy. Inhale, take another nice big deep breath. Wrap them the other way. Give yourself another hug and remind yourself that you're loved, you're valued, and you're full of purpose. And have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Next Monday and Wednesday. And Mary Lou, you're not here Monday, right?
I'm at the